Hello, fellow human. Welcome back to another Dank Doggo r/EntitledParents. So, our story for today is from you/Modir with the title of Parents Threaten to Call 911 because I won't video call them. Background: I'm a 19 years old female college student. When I get stressed/anxious, I get nasty acne breakouts. A couple of weeks ago, my midterms began and my acne started getting bad. My parents, the entitled parents here, have me FaceTime them every week to check in. When they noticed my acne a couple of weeks ago, they made comments like, verbatim, "You look exponentially worse than you did last week," and "Your face looks awful." It made me feel pretty crappy. Normally, I'm a very passive person, but recently, I've gotten more confident, so tonight, I decided to stand up for myself. Some other context: I have a mental health condition that my parents are very concerned about. The condition is well regulated and I haven't experienced any significant flare-ups in over a year. Regardless if I get stressed or worried or if otherwise act out of character, my parents immediately assume my condition has worsened and that my life is therefore in danger. Fast forward to tonight, I called my parents at the scheduled time, and when they said, "Hang on, let's switch to the video call," I said, "I would rather we keep it an audio call. The past couple of weeks, you have made some comments about my complexion that I was uncomfortable with. And though I know you didn't mean anything harmful, it still hurt. And since my face is still broken out, I'm not comfortable talking to you over video." The tones of my parents' voice changed. And they said, "Modir, turn on video. You don't have a choice." I stood my ground and just repeated, "I would love to tell you about my week and hear what's been going on in your life over the phone. I'm just not comfortable using video." My parents didn't take that for an answer. Since I rarely say no to them, their first thought was that I was mentally ill again. They told me, "We need to see your face for safety reasons because we need to make sure you're healthy." I replied, "I will tell you honestly that I'm doing fine. Aside I'm being stressed about midterms, which is pretty normal response, I am healthy. And since you have told me you trust me, you should just trust me that I'm telling the truth, and I'm doing fine." They told me they refused to believe that and accused me of hiding something from them. My mom asked me what on earth they would said that could have been hurtful. They didn't do anything of the sort. About 20 minutes in, I was not going to budge. I was not going to turn on the video call, especially since they didn't respect my request, which I felt was simple and reasonable. My parents were getting furious, and they told me if I didn't turn on the video and show them my face, they were going to call 911 and my campus security system, in addition to getting immediately to the car and driving 3 hours to my school. When I told them I was disappointed they didn't trust me, they laughed and asked me what on earth I was talking about, that I had no right to say that. I had lost their trust, and I was irrational in thinking that I had the right to stop trusting them. I was called a spoiled brat, irrational. My parents asked me what they ever did so wrong to deserve this treatment. They told me how worried they were for my safety, and if I could just turn on the video, they would be happy to know I was safe. My mother told me that if I didn't turn on the video, she would call the police and they would take me into custody and be spending the next 6 hours at minimum in a waiting office of a mental health facility. I was told that I was acting immature and I wouldn't be allowed to attend summer program I've been accepted to. My father told me I was shutting them out and told me that if I didn't want to lose all their trust and respect, that I would have to turn on the video. I just kept saying, "I'm disappointed that you don't trust me enough to respect my decision. All I asked was to keep the call on video this week, and I understand and appreciate that you're concerned for me. This is me acting in my best interest." Finally, after about an hour going back and forth, I decide, to hell with it. I have work to get done. I don't have time for this argument. When I switched the call to video for them, my mother showed me that she had 911 typed into her cell phone, and she told me that she had been hovering over the call button for almost 20 minutes. She showed me all the pamphlets and folders with emergency services and numbers which she had been going through, and my father told me he had been just about to get in the car to head to my school. She started crying and talking about how worried she was, and she said, "Promise me you'll never act like this again. This was stupid." I asked, "What do you mean by this?" She said, "Digging your heels in and being this irrational." I said, "I couldn't promise that." I reiterated it, that I didn't feel I was being irrational. All I wanted was to call over phone and not to use video this week, and I felt I had not been respected. My dad snapped. "Don't you ever say anything about not video calling ever again." TLDR, I called my parents and they flipped out on me when I told them I wasn't comfortable with switching the call to video. To be honest, when I was reading somewhere in the middle of the story, I simply thought, oh, OP had mental issues, so it's quite reasonable for her parents to think that she was in some sort of troubles, just in an, overprotective kind of way. But they meant no harm. But nope. When you read everything and gave it a second thought, the parents definitely are typical examples of entitled parents. Because if they truly care and love her, there was no reason to keep harassing their own daughter with hurtful words like, "Oh, you look awful, terrible," etc. I mean, yeah, everybody gets it. Even OP herself acknowledged that she was in a bad state due to the stress and anxiety. Her parents are the type of people that wouldn't take no for an answer and would be willing to threaten their own daughter to call 911. And the tipping point for me was that they would even go as far as to threaten her to put her in a mental facility if she didn't go their way, behaved like a puppet they wanted to, even threatened to cancel her summer program. Like, what? This wasn't even about concerning or worrying anymore. This went way beyond of being overprotected. This, to me, was being extremely controlling and emotional manipulative. Great job that OP stood up for herself in these rare occasions and let them know that sometimes in life, not everything will go the way they demand. And now for the comments. U/Miranda666 gave their thoughts. Why can't you just hang up? Let your parents call 911 over something this stupid. I can guarantee you that local enforcement will not be amused in the slightest, and chances are good that they would face a fine. Your parents are threatening you with a stay in a mental facility if you're not a good girl? Really? I get that you have had issues in the past and have an ongoing issue with stress and all that, but this behavior is absolutely unacceptable and very unhealthy. Your parents are using emotional manipulations and threats against you. That's not right in any situation. I guess they probably threaten to stop paying for college and other expenses if you don't toe with the line and do what they will tell you, which I get is even more stress on you. But there are things you can do to exert some control over your situation. Talk to your school's administration about safeguarding your privacy on campus and see what they have to say. You should not have lived in fear of your parents making a 3-hour car journey in order to harass you in the name of making sure you're okay. If you live on campus, your parents have no rights to enter your dormitory, regardless of your relationship. If you're worried they're going to call campus security on you, go down and have a chat with them too. Let them know that your parents are irrational and that if necessary, security can call XX number and do an immediate wellness check on you. When your parents start calling and demanding they cart you off to a hospital. If you haven't spoken to your school administration about this, you should. The school will have your backs in regards to privacy issues and your rights as a legal adult. The OP replied, "I should have hung up. This is the only second or third time in my life I've directly told them no, and I'm working on fighting my natural urge to give in and let them have the upper hand. In near future, I hope I will have built up strength to carry through and stand firm. Contacting security is a good idea too. My parents told me they're contacting my therapist first thing tomorrow morning. I would like to see how they respond when my therapist tells them they have no legal right to my information. That's it for today, fellow humans. Thanks for watching. Dank Doggo appreciates your time. If you enjoy our content and want to see more of us, stay tuned and subscribe. Don't forget to smash that like button or Doggo will cry. Also, you can always tell us your Doggo comrades, your experiences in the comment section. I will catch up with you guys later in the next video.